Hi, Midwest Outdoorsman here with another knife review, with a hunting knife review actually, and this time it's the Knives of Alaska Magnum Hunter is what it's called. And I've been looking at that stuff for quite a while. Knives of Alaska, I hear good things about them, and I've got a chance to hold a couple of their knives, use a couple of their knives, and they're pretty good quality. They're pretty good, you know. They're more of a higher end knife. You're not going to get them for $20, but they seem to be heat tempered well for what they are. Let's take a look at this knife. And again, this is the Magnum Hunter. See that blade shape there? Great for hunting. You got a full tang construction, lanyard hole right there. Got a checkered rubberized grip. I don't know if this is Kryton or whatever they call it, but it's like a rubbery type of a feel, which is great. Insulates your hand from the cold. I love the finger placement up here. Locks it in really good. Nice jimping. Knives of Alaska does really good jimping, and they put that jimping way up here, which is nice. So if you really want to choke up on that blade, the camera will focus here. You can see the jimping. So if you really want to choke up on that blade a ways, you got that jimping to help control that fine work. It's made out of D2 tool steel, which is a harder steel. D2 wouldn't really be my first choice for like a survival knife or something. It's not a bad steel, of course. It's a decent steel. A little more prone to rusting, and obviously than your stainless steels or whatever. And it's a little harder to sharpen, but it holds that edge for quite a bit longer because of that hardness. But also because of the hardness, it can be a little bit brittle. They do a great job of heat tempering this steel. And I haven't really seen any big problems with chipping or anything on this, but that's also because it's a hunting knife. I wouldn't really want this to use this as a, if you're thinking a survival knife, because it's not really designed for that. You could, in a pinch, it's sturdy enough. You could, baton some wood with it, or use it around camp and that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't really take that as its primary purpose. That D2 steel, the reason I think that's great is because it holds an edge for a long time, and especially when you're gutting animals, quartering animals, you're in the backcountry, you don't want to have to be sharpening your knife all the time, and this will hold an edge a little longer than some of the other steels out there. It will rust a little bit easier than some of them. They do put a decent coating on here. I haven't had mine rust yet, but I try to take care of my knives, and a little bit of mineral oil on the blade or whatever if you're going to be going out, that kind of thing helps to keep it from rusting. But it's a great option. The overall length on this knife, I'm trying to find it here. I want to say the blade it's around 4, a little bit over 4. One second here. Yep, blade length is 4.5 inches. The knife overall length is 9.5 inches. It says the bevel on this knife is 18 to 20 degrees. The Rockwell hardness is 59 to 61. So that's a pretty hard, steel. And it, like I said, it'll wear really nice for you, especially for for animals, which this knife is for cutting up animals and stuff. It's going to hold that edge for quite a while. I've had nothing but good luck with them so far, and seems to be a great option. You can feel in the hand this knife is built sturdy, and I mean it'll last you a lifetime. Let's take a look at the sheath quick. High quality leather sheath. Got a snap right here. See the Knives of Alaska logo right there. Decent leather. But I'm not really a big fan of leather. This is made in the USA, if that's important to you. I don't know if they'll say that, but it does say made in the USA on the sheath. I prefer kydex plastic type holsters to leather, just because of the fact that they don't soak up water and they don't retain that water next to the blade. Especially with a blade like D2, you don't want it to rust. So I generally go for the the plastics. But I mean, if you like the leather, this is a great option. It looks good. But this knife, you know, especially if you're going to live somewhere where it's, you know, drier, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, or something like that, would be a great option. You can carry the leather sheath, you know, because there's not a whole lot of rain down there. You're not really going to see a lot of moisture. That'd be a great option. You know, it's called Knives of Alaska, but I don't think they're made in Alaska, actually. I think they're made somewhere in the U.S. down south, if I am remembering right. I don't know exactly what state, but for me personally, if I was going to go to Alaska, even though it says Knives of Alaska, these are great knives, and you could take them, and they'll do fine work. But I would go with a high-grade stainless, something like a VG10 laminated, or you know, some high-grade stainless that is a little bit more rust-resistant with a kydex or a plastic sheath. But I mean, this is a great knife, and for those of you thinking of buying it, you know, I wouldn't hesitate. It'll do a lot of work for you. It all depends on what size of knife you need and where you live and what you're going to use it for. But those are a couple points that if you're trying to decide, maybe it'll help you. And that's the Knives of Alaska Magnum Alaskan, made out of D2 steel. Hope you enjoyed this. Any comments or questions, put them down below. I'll try to answer them. And as always, be respectful of other people. These are just my opinions. And hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.